Forsaken's fandom slash community is pretty infamous for being mostly negative or just straight up weird. Also, in this video, I'm not venturing into the more degenerate side of the game, just the main community. One thing Forsaken gets criticized for a lot is the lack of content. Some people feel like as if the game itself is too stale, having the same gameplay loop for over 8 months. They say it's the same old thing. You do gens, you survive the killer, and then you win. Or lose. Ask them to elaborate more on this and they'll say, oh, there's no other objectives apart from the gens, no new killers, no new game modes, and the law is us. Now some of these are valid, but some of them aren't. Some of them actually they are stupid. Why, you may ask? For starters, the games are scoped. The code for Forsaken is said to be messed up. Pretty messed up. Which is why there's going to be recode. If these new things are added with the current state of Forsaken, these people are going to be the first to complain because there's going to be a lot of bugs. Oh, and then to elaborate more on this, Forsaken's law is pretty inconsistent and also referred to as pretty badly written by many. And by badly written, they mean angslop.
Well, this stinks.
Angslop basically means that it's made to make people sad, but it's doing terrible at that. But this is just the basic law of only 3 characters, by the way. 2-time, which is Azura, Noob and maybe Veronica, guess 66, 007 and 7, and Cool Kid. This is quite literally it. We don't know the others' law yet, and even so, there isn't even a reliable way to access it. That one's on the devs, yeah. Some people hate the we were friends but now we're gonna fight trope. But I don't think Shed and 1X were even friends. Same with Builderman and maybe John Doe. Either way, this one is on the writers and on the law, which is also being remade, as well as the lack of communication,
which I will bring up later.
Another thing about the law is they wanted the killer that kills for fun. They didn't want anyone that just is sad, is this, is that. And that's what Noli's new law is. It reads, the all-powerful and ancient Noli has made its grand entrance into the realm, wielding power which easily surpasses that of scripts and GUIs by the exploiters. Noli manipulates every and all around him. For him, these games are nothing but a way to truly shine out as the star of the show. But obviously, people are going to hate on it. There's going to be those that hate it because N7 is no longer in its law, or those that say it's too bland, or to those that say it's very similar to Artfuls from Dial Dev's law. Another thing about content is some stuff that don't get added to the game due to it not fitting the game. Speaking of, a few months ago, a Chara One skin concept was showcased. Mind how I said concept? Yeah. It was made for fun and it didn't get greenlit. Now people got mad saying they scrapped this skin because it didn't fit, but Miku does. Now some people might be stupid. For one, you cannot scrap what was never coming. It's dead as the same energy as this. Welcome to this restaurant. Sir, what happened? They threw away my food. What did you order, sir? I didn't order anything. This shows how some people say the dumbest shit like what Miku does. Speaking of Miku in the game, this also exists just to get shat on for no good reason. For the reason of it doesn't fit the game. 1, it's a collab. It's not like it's going to affect the law of the game itself. 2, Diva and Ghoul's law do fit their respective characters. Tell me you don't know the law without telling me you don't know it. Most of the time, it's just hitted on because it's a Vocaloid reference. Speaking of that, there's a running gag, mostly on Forsaken Talk, that the devs love to add Vocaloid and Project Moon references. This kind of bullcrap, because why? There is only 6 or 7 Vocaloid skins, 9 if you decide to add the Neon series, 4 Project Moon skins, and then there's also the emotes. I promise you, this will not affect the game or its development. Then there's the common thing that is really said: fix bugs or add 500 Vocaloid skins. You do realize there's departments in this, right? There's one who does the skin, the art, the sound effects, and the coding itself. So obviously adding skins do not impact the game's development. Then there's those who just hate to hate. Take a look at this. Tazuna. Joe Tazuna from Your Turn to Die is being called the Vocaloid. You see how some of these motherfuckers spread hate mindlessly. Speaking of hates, do I really gotta say much for this place? Remember when I mentioned the Chara 1x skin? Well, you should know that it was made for fun, and obviously it got hate that it was never released. You can't scrap what was not greenlit. And because the Diva and Cool Skins got in as a collab, obviously decided to express the hate on the owner of the Project Diplo series. The devs also got hates. Yeah, you get the point, they hated everyone. Then there's also the passing it off as criticism, and the devs are too sensitive to handle it. Which brings me to my next section. This is yet another issue with this community. This mostly stems from the criticism not being handled well by some devs. I'm kind of leaning more against the devs here. For example, the Jinro 16th Night Remodel and the Scarlet skins, which were highly anticipated, only to get scrapped. In Jinro's case, the owner of the skin and practically pretty vesting pulled Jinro from the skin just to avoid backlash that might come when it gets released, but that didn't go so well. I know it's their decision to pull the skin, but then again, why pull a practically complete skin? This is also the same thing that happened with the Project Moon skins. When Hacklord was released, he had no theme, no LMS, and looked incomplete in general. Then there was also what happened with devs when they were criticized for releasing a half-baked skin. The reaction to this, especially Basil's, was another point which gave the opinion that devs are sensitive over the criticism. Then there's also the situation in which a mod was fired. Then there's another thing about the skins being incomplete. Some skins have so much to them, but also miss one vital thing, like chase themes. This isn't really an issue, but when you think about it, Ace of Spades, Subject Zero, and a bunch of other skins have custom animations, custom SFX, custom intros, and they're expensive, but yet no chase theme. Milestone 3 and 4 Cool Kid also don't have a chase theme. The Dial Dead skins also do not have chase themes yet. But what makes the masses even angrier is that the dev team has been said to have enough composers, which is why some got laid off. But where are the themes even after all these months? Time is ticking. So the big question is the Forsaken community truly ungrateful, or is it actually justified? Well, the answer is yes and no. For points like the chase themes, the lack of law, or rather the law being insensitive, yes, I would say that they're a bit impatient, and also it's something we were promised. It's an empty promise at this point. And for the rest, some of them is just them being impatient and mostly assholes. Again, this is my opinion. I'm not spreading hate to anyone, not to the users in the screenshots, not to the devs, and I hope this video reaches the right audience. Yeah, Maxon has one of the best chase teams. Subscribe.